Hello?
Huh?
Hello?
Ooh?
What up, everybody? Welcome to FriendZone 9000 D&D. We're on our new time, which is on Tuesdays. We're usually on Fridays. Today will be a little bit different. If you ever had questions, or we're going to kind of break down characters and character development, all that cool stuff about D&D. If you ever had anything that you wanted to ask us about our characters or anything like that, today's the day to do it. So we're going to run that at y'all for the next God knows how long. And yeah, that's that. Let me say what's up to everybody here. Vic can say what's up, dude.
What's up? I'm just here.
I was waiting for the stuff, dude.
I'm just here. Not much else to say. Don't check me out on Twitch. I don't stream. Check out these people instead. Don't mod
Vickin. Mod Vickin.
Mod Vickin. Global mod.
There's that.
I'm gonna laugh when
Don't
that
mod me.
It's gonna happen.
Don't mod me.
And we're on,
this just in though. All channels are offline, by the way. No channels are live.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's you guys amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, everyone's now popping up now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's back up.
What a time.
Oh, Twitch.
Oh.
Drunk on a Tuesday. I'm here for it.
We're on someone's channel here. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, my name is Mav. This is my channel, but it's not my show. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome. If you have questions, though, I think we're going to have a Q&A time where you guys can just throw questions in the chat. So make sure you are here for that. That's all I got.
And we got Zotbutt.
Zotbutt. That is this thing. What's going on, guys? Name's Zotbutt. That's it. You guys, we've been doing this for... How long have we been doing D&D for?
Since November. Mid-November.
Yeah, it was around holiday season.
We some nerds.
Yeah.
We've been playing, I guess, for since middle November.
Was it 13th or the 20th?
You're supposed to know these things, Vickin. You're the numbers guy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What a time.
And then we got Bronzy. So what's up?
I'm that bronze girl, and I stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, that's us. We all play D&D. Usually we play every Friday. Usually what we do is we come together Friday at 6 p.m. on this channel. Started originally off on
Your channel?
It was my channel.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the first one. My channel moved it to Mavs. Now we moved it to Tuesdays. We want y'all to go out on Friday nights.
Yep.
And we kind of go out Friday nights too.
Yeah.
Please
Not
be
really.
on Fridays.
Not really.
Ain't nobody going out on Friday nights, to be honest with you. But yeah, we decided to start doing this. We figured it's gonna be fun for us, number one, and two for y'all. So you guys come second. Y'all don't matter at all. No, I'm just playing. But no, be real though. It's a cool way, since we have like Roll20 now, to be able to play Dungeons and Dragons. I've always wanted to play myself personally, but real quick, for Mavic and Zot, Bronzy, I guess we'll start with Bronzy. When was the first time you played D&D, or are you new to D&D?
I started D&D back in 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. And that's kind of been my history. I've messed around with a lot of different systems. I've played Mouse Guard. I've played Shadowrun. I've played the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, and I've played Burning Wheel. So that's been my history with D&D. I didn't play 4.0 because nobody really liked it. I never really got into Pathfinder. But when 5th edition came out, 5e, I kind of just slid right back into it. So yeah, I've played a lot of different characters over the years, including probably the most interesting was a Cancer Mage or a Plague Mancer. And he was from the Book of Eternal Darkness, I think it was. It's apparently kind of a rare book now. But yeah, I've done some cool things with pen and paper.
Nice.
So,
Zot, what's up with you?
Shit. I mean, FriendZone was my actually, no, okay.
You
We attempted D&D way back in the beginning of last year.
It wasn't
And-
last
the
year,
year
bro.
before.
It's been 2
the
years.
year before.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
That was a
Yeah,
long time.
I remember that overlay. I saw that.
What overlay?
Yeah, well,
Exactly. There wasn't
that
an
was-
overlay.
It was roll
That's
20.
terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
okay.
Even at that time, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't really know like how to play D&D. I had no idea what, how to role play, how to do anything. And I mean, it was an introduction, but when we started up with the FriendZone, that kicked off real quick, and that's when it just all made sense to me. Everything started clicking. Cogwheel started making like, oh, this does this. Okay, that's a D20 right there.
Jesus Christ. Redneck
never
Rampage
made that
pen
up.
and paper? Is that what we're doing next?
Nah,
Fuck.
But I mean, that's where D&D started kicking in, and I mean, here we are months later, still going at it, and the shit that we've been through and the stuff that we've done, I can say that's gonna be addicting more so than ever. Like, I don't know, once you start getting into it with like the right people, just keep going.
And Mav.
Yeah.
No one cares. Vic, no, I'm playing. So where have you? What's your history with pen and paper games? I guess we could just say it that way. D&D, pen and paper.
Well, D&D, I mean, I never really got into like the pen and paper, like, okay, this number goes here and then that goes there and that. I did more of like a role playing. I used D20 as like a way to choose what happens kind of and how hard things would hit, but I never did anything like that. I did more of like writing. I was a part of guilds. I ran guilds. I ran huge RP PvP guilds where like the entire server would crash. And it was more of like writing than it was like rolling. When towards the end, like in Cata, because it was all WoW. Okay, I ran guilds in WoW and they're pretty good. They still websites up. But we have a lot of literature and things like that, but we really towards the end of that expansion got it more into like, okay, so the top part of the 20 is a crit and the bottom part of the 20 is not, is like okay, and things like that. So I mean that was
the top of the
like
the
talk
top
about
Top of the
top of the
so the top
bottom. It's
so the
like,
top of the
no.
20. Wow.
So
That
yeah,
hurt.
I didn't really do pen and paper, but I was alone a
20.
lot.
Top
so
of the 22.
I didn't
don't
have
know.
it.
Top of the 22. Yeah.
Top of the 20 to you.
I've never
But-
heard it like that before.
Wow.
It's a 20. Is it 20 a ladder or
Well,
is it?
I used to have to DM, but I had to actually like follow them in the world and like go with them and then like say something was happening, and like write stories, like kind of how Base does it. That's why it's kind of cool to see what he comes up with, because it's just nostalgic for me from that. But I did more like, we're gonna walk over here and then we're gonna talk for like hours and then we're gonna walk over here and then we're gonna create a spell, and I did that.
That's nerdy, bro. That's like, so wait, you LARPed in World of Warcraft?
Were you like a rogue, like stealthing around,
How
following
the
him?
I was actually
How?
To, like,
Wait,
keep immersion?
how? LARPing in WoW? Like, I don't know. I'm taken aback.
I mean,
I'm sick.
Moonbear was,
What
popping.
a time.
Did you yell out like
Dude.
lightning bolt?
we had so many people come into Darnassus and like take over, and then that actually had to be lore. Like that was
No one's looking for Dionysus. Yeah.
Everybody check for the
Exactly.
Darkness.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's how
Fuck
lit
all
it is.
night elves. Fuck all night elves. Ugh. Vicken, where did you start?
Yeah. Well, I started last October when and like this, it was like out of nowhere. I think the exact day you messaged me that like one of the because Ace was
Yep.
doing his first DMing session, like one of the guys didn't show up, so I jumped in and got to play, and it was a complete like pre-generated character. I didn't like think of any background or anything. It was just something so I could like play and learn with. And then I really got into it once we started doing this. Yeah.
Now you
I
DM.
thought you had been playing a lot longer because you're
No.
always like,
I'm just a nerd like that.
No, as soon as
Like,
Vicken
if
gets
I-
into
once I
something,
get-
it's over.
Yeah.
That's
Once
what
I get
told-
into something,
I told-
it
go
just
play
it takes me
Pathfinder,
like a
fucker.
couple weeks, and then I'm gonna learn everything. I'm gonna like read through everything, and I hate
Usually
reading.
how Vicken works. And it's cool. Like, I don't mind it. I think it's great. Fuck.
Because of the conversation in chat, I just have to say.
Only noobs play Alliance. I'm
Only
here for it.
noobs play Alliance.
I'm here for it. I actually agree with that. Fuck Alliance. But I don't even know what that game is anymore. Actually,
What's a lot?
Zod made me sub again. And I unsubbed like the day later.
I subbed,
I don't recall
trolled.
that.
I sub trolled EK and Zot for like a good like 2 hours, and I left.
You guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna." I'm like, "All right, let me transfer my shit." Fucking $40 later. Fucking another. I'm like,
Okay, you put it this way: you're Legion prepared.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not playing Legion. I'm not playing Legion.
Sorry, try that one more time.
I'm not playing Legion. I'm
Wait,
just
sorry.
not gonna play Legion unless someone buys it for me and pays for my monthly, and even then, I doubt I'm gonna fucking touch that game. But that's not. We're not sitting here talking about fucking World of Warcraft. That's not. We're not here for that. So for
That was a long time ago, though. That was
what?
10 years.
Oh, what? WoW?
More than that.
10 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So,
I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention to that. No.
It's not
Nope.
like nope. I'm not doing it.
10
Well,
years
so-
at
You were
least.
to WoW, because I always played like weird Korean MMOs, like called Fantasy Life and stuff like that.
What was,
God.
what's the other
I
one?
miss
Moon?
Ragnarok.
No, not Ragnarok. There's that one, and there was like a moon one.
Where you have like mothers and sons, you can adopt people and get married. I had kids in a game.
Ah!
First kids I ever had.
Well, I mean, it's not so far fetched now because you see like what's the name of that game? Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon and all those games, and those are all like Korean games. You know what I'm saying? So that's nothing new. Okay, so when you guys played D&D, when we finally started getting to play, what did you expect? I'll let whoever wants to go first go first.
What did we expect?
Yes, what did you expect?
It was exactly what I expected.
To die?
No, I mean like from like having to deal with a bunch of different mechanics to go with what happened. That was something that I was like, this is either going to hurt my soul really badly, or it's going to work out fine. And I think it's worked out fine. I'm kind of learning. It's kind of cool.
I mean, I love the different things you come up with, like story-wise. I mean, going different places, whether it's just for a day, or whether it's a full-on campaign where we're going to be diving into places that I personally would not enter. I would just nope, I'm out. I'm not going to go into a cave covered in spider webs. No. The Rings
It's
taught me-
fine. It's
The Rings taught
fine.
me some shit. Yeah. But I mean, hell, it's been more than I can ever hope for. It's fun as hell.
Picking Bronx.
You let my
It's a-
character act like a complete idiot. I love it. That's all my character is.
I don't know about
Sacrifice
idiot,
Zots in the
but-
chat. Jesus Christ.
Can we
complete-
not? We're not even
Okay.
playing today.
Okay, he's not an idiot. He's a psycho. Yeah.
He likes unicorns.
Called math.
That was my turn.
I guess, yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't anything like what I expected. Because like from this conversation, you could probably glean that I'm the only one who'd actually like really played like a lot of D&D before.
Mm-hmm.
And so with those campaigns, so first of all, I've never played a stock D&D campaign. It's never happened. I've always played like we're like in an alternate world where a magic crystal has blown up and there's no magic, or stuff like that. I've always played those types of games. So I'd never played like an actual Sword Coast like campaign. And yeah, like all the people I always played D&D with, we never even used the stock classes. Like we would make classes using a mishmash of the rules, you know? So I think when I came into it, I was expecting, like, I remember coming in and talking about like, well, does your bag have capacity for that, you know? And how many steps did you take this turn? And can you cover like 20 feet and like still take an action? And I learned really quickly this group doesn't operate like that. That they're like, a lot more into the casual side of it. And as soon as I let that go, I started to have a lot more fun. But originally, like the entire time, I was just like, you can't do that. You can't sprint and also take an action in one turn, you know? And I had to like just like chill and be like, don't be a neckbeard, Bronze. I still neckbeard. I'm probably the neckbeard of the group. But
put it this way, you actually kind of showed me what D&D was the very first episode. It was, I thought you had to kill everything. I thought you had to put everybody
yeah,
in
Nope.
yeah.
kill everybody.
And when I actually went back
group
and watched
shit their
the
pants.
first episodes, I realized like
I
a
ignored
lot of
those.
it, everyone was like pin drop silent because that's when we had FIP on the squad. Everyone was like really quiet, and I had to do everything. So everyone's like, "Is she the leader?" Because like everyone was just like Base would give the prompt, and I would wait for somebody else because I was like, "Okay, let the new people learn how to play," and they'd just be like, he'd be like, "All right, what are you gonna do?" And everyone would just be.
Everyone was quiet though.
And so
We're all like trying to figure out
I'd
the
be like,
situation.
well, let's maybe ask the locals to figure out where to go. And I had to like, and then they figured it out. They like Zod said, he kind of started, the cogs started to turn, and
learned it.
you don't have to kill everything,
No.
every NPC
We still end up doing that though.
The
by
coolest,
accident.
But it's fun. It's fun.
the coolest thing that I've seen, so like of course Bronzy is the one that's played before, and just to give everyone like an idea, I've clearly like I again, we're not the most, well, I'd say mostly it's because of me, but not the most sound group when it comes to mechanics. I'm just not good at it like that. I'm getting better, I guess, because the funny part is that the first time that we all streamed this together, it was my third time DMing ever anything. I've only played Dungeons and Dragons I think 2 times before that as a player, and then on like the 5th time I'm streaming in front of people and doing all that. But the coolest thing is to see.
It was your third time, and you were like,
I had
Yeah.
no.
it was your
hell,
third time.
were
You were
way
trying
more
to
When, in,
Well,
no, no,
when we
but
went
here's
in
the-
with it, we were like,
Well,
we're
here's the
gonna
thing,
have fun. We stuck.
So Bronzy set the standard, which was cool because I needed that. But the funny part was Bronzy made me hate, because D&D comes with like these manuals, these campaigns, and you could buy them. Horde of the Dragon Queen was the first one we were on. I hated it. I learned absolutely nothing from the D&D campaigns because it doesn't give. You can't go into people that either know a group of people that know and don't know how to play D&D and expect the book to have all the answers because it's basically training wheels. So on the 4th, I think it was after the episode where you guys fucking argued for 45 minutes in front of the cave, I was like, no, I'm writing my own shit because I can't deal with this anymore. So ever since, like, so basically the combination of Bronze and all of you guys made me adapt. So how I write it now is if you got, at some point Bronze will say no, or you guys will decide not to do something, and I'm like, well, fuck, all that is gone. All right, so now I have like at any given time like 5 dungeons ready, and a whole bunch of like cities ready, built, like, you know what I'm saying. So I don't try to be the most mechanically sound because I know I suck at it and I need to improve on it. So I kind of overshadow with the other shit. So the coolest thing is seeing everyone kind of grow. Seeing Vicken go from where he is to the pain in the ass he is now. And Zot and Mav go. Mav has a brand new character. So that's like the.
And I've never played Magic, so it's insane.
I was about to say, when you were about to bust out with a wild surge, I'm like,
I remember
didn't even know
Bronzy
what
talking
I
about
was
Wild
doing.
Surge, and I was like, who's gonna have it? Mav's gonna have it. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be interesting. All right, because the first thing that
That's
Mav
actually
did.
what Bron said was actually D&D's discretion. I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep that. I'm not gonna remind him. I'm just gonna let that go.
Well, no, because the first time Mav's new character, Mav, your new character is a moon elf sorcerer, and the first thing that she does is almost kill everybody.
Yep.
the first
And
I
I'm just
literally,
like, all right.
I shot a fireball that did damage to
Fireball.
me in a radius, and everybody was in my radius, and I was like,
20 foot.
what?
There's no way you.
I think I'm still
No.
triggered like
Friend.
outside.
But she had
It's a
it
great way to
all
break the
over.
ice.
She was like, I'm
There's
sorry.
a brand new Baldur's Gate DLC out, and if you are looking
there is.
for a good introduction into D&D, but you don't have friends or you don't want to be like going out in public, Baldur's Gate actually is very mechanically sound. Like they show the rolls on
Yep.
the screen, It's a turn-based game. Your characters will get petrified. They'll get gibbed. A lot of people don't know like what insta-gibbed comes from. It comes from Baldur's Gate. You turn into giblets and you can't be resurrected. So if you're brand new and you're looking for a good way to get into it, you should really play Baldur's Gate and support
What?
Beam.
Can you post that link?
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
I literally just found it for $10.
Brand new DLC. So, and
It's
so
really addicting.
This one actually links the first one with Throne of Ball, and it takes place right in the middle. So
that's the 4-pack. It's Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and both expansions. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition's like $20. But that's like a whole big pack of them.
Isn't there?
this does have
Didn't we
stuff
play
like
multiplayer
Daco,
with that at that one
which
point?
is very confusing.
Let's see here.
What? You can play multiplayer.
Yeah, was it?
It's very confusing,
Yeah.
but you can.
Yeah, we tried it once and,
And that's
we
the Steam
literally
link
didn't
for it.
go anywhere.
Better if you play solo.
It
But
is. It is. 'Cause,
really good.
Yeah. Try it just to try it. Why not? You know what I mean? What is...
It's on Steam too.
Yeah, I put the Steam link in after. The bit.ly is the Steam. What is your favorite thing that you've encountered so far with the D&D? With Zod, go first.
Favorite thing I've encountered. I just I guess how big the world is, all the different characters that we can come up with, all the different personalities that we're gonna have to introduce with. The fuck? Just
Oh my
I
god.
don't know, just everything. Literally everything. I wasn't didn't really have a oh, okay. Oh,
Yep.
yep. First for me.
You okay?
Yeah, just everything. I can't even pinpoint a. You good? Did I freeze? Hello?
No, you're all right. You're okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you kind of
No,
are
you're
breaking
here.
up a little bit.
Oh okay. Oh okay. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Everybody was freezing.
Zod's having a moment. Jesus
but-
Christ.
Yeah, just a kind of how big. I know.
Yeah.
I'm blonde underneath this. It's fine. It's blonde.
Perfectly coiffed
But yeah,
hair.
just
I would have to
Spring
say
seeds,
the
man.
character progression. Like, I didn't know how sad I would be losing V when I lost her. I was like, oh, that hurts.
We're sad too.
I know.
I miss V.
But
She's
like a little-
like
She's a little kid in
even
the group.
even with the tension that was had with my elf and like the weird stuff that happened, and they became friends, and it was kind of cool to see them kind of go like through a situation, and that's sort of something that I've always kind of been a fan of, but that's always something that I've done. So it's, I don't know, I like character progression.
What about you,
That's my
Bronzy?
thing.
It doesn't have to be just about this one. Also, it could be about all
I
D&D.
still remember the first episode where you can just see.
Everyone cool?
Oh, D&D.
Yeah.
Character.
Wait, what did you say? It doesn't have to be about what?
It doesn't have to be just this
Oh,
campaign.
I'll go with
Just in
this
general.
one. That's fine.
Everything's
Okay.
everything's freezing up. Are you guys good?
I think
Yeah, and yeah, mine's freezing up too.
Yeah,
I
Everything's
can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Is it the Zoom server?
I think it might be Zoom, but
Probably the Zoom
I think it's-
server. 'cause
I think it's.
It's,
Are we
you guys
good?
you guys look better now. Yeah.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
you're
Okay.
good. You're good now. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. We might be okay. Jesus. Well, at least
I
it's
think-
happened today. Shit. No,
What?
done a
Yeah, I
campaign.
know. It's been weird.
It's-
I think my favorite moment was probably right outside the church in the river
Okay.
because like Phip's face and Zot's face, when instead of fighting these guys, I successfully intimidated them, was priceless. And then chat was just like
Yeah.
everybody, like I think everyone thought like, oh, this is gonna go a certain way, and they were just gonna walk
Yeah.
around and kill a bunch of cultists, and then I robbed them and convinced them to take me to their leader, and I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No.
And so after
absolutely
that
not.
became a joke. After
No.
that, it totally became a joke, like if it crits, it shits and all that. But like, I think even your face, like everybody's face, when I was like, I'm gonna roll for intimidation, and I was just like, or I didn't even say I'm gonna roll for intimidation. I said I'm gonna attempt to intimidate them,
I
and
was just like, Let it run. Just fucking do it. Go for it.
Yeah, and everybody was like, I thought these were the rules of the universe, and she just like said no. And I think that's why D&D is like unique, and why even after all these years, like it hasn't been replaced. Like we have games like Baldur's Gate, we have games like Pillars of Eternity, and we've seen that like, oh, why would you still need pen and paper? Because you can't do that in a video game. You can't say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this other thing. And I think that like having everybody like kind of have this like moment all at once where it was like, this is happening was awesome, because we got to do that live where everyone was like, is this happening?
Yeah.
Is this interesting?
And it was a great introduction on how D&D works, because it was like right off the bat.
Yep.
I just remember everybody's face. Like
I shit my pants.
The-
I actually shit my
Literally, yeah. Literally, the first roll was a natural 20 to your intent.
yeah,
pants.
yeah.
Yep.
That's it. And that,
Everybody's face was just like,
Welcome to
Yeah.
D&D.
yeah, you make cultists shit themselves and
Everyone
jump
shit
up
their
a bridge.
pants.
Well,
It was-
it wasn't even the Chris. So the Chris shits part was fucking hilarious because it shows how organic things can happen in D&D. There is when you do DM stuff, you could over prepare, and Mike in this case, the best thing to do is let anyone kind of just do. If you want to fuck around and go for it, there's gonna be a consequence for it, positive or negative, regardless. But when she said that she wanted to disguise herself as one of the cultists, I was like, perfect example of over planning, because I had literally so much stuff written out ready to go and they skipped a shit ton of it, and I was just like, okay, on the fly, what do I do? And that was, I think, my favorite moment. I think my favorite moment had to be the cultist incident, and then I think my second favorite thing that you guys have done is just the organic shit. When I started thinking like I wanted to do D&D, it was for me to be as a player. It was to the point where I was about to pay people to fucking DM for us, and I was like, we need a DM so bad, I'm willing to pay someone to do it. And I was like, you know what, screw this, let's do it. And I started DMing, but it really became something so much more because I had Fip in mind, I had Mav, I had Bronzy, I had Zot, and Vicken jumped in because I played with Vicken. He'd been in my regular campaigns. There's really no one, like the people that you see here, like are people that I will only play with. And it's not an elitist thing or like some like high school bullshit. It's just I see RP traits and traits that these people have in their personalities, and I think that would translate amazingly with telling a story through Dungeons and Dragons or any type of pen and paper game where they step out of themselves and they kind of tell the story. I'm just here to kind of referee the shit. It's them going off and saying what's happening by their actions and how they react to things. So to kind of sum it all up, I think my favorite part of D&D is the people that I play with, because I couldn't do this with anybody else, because I think other people would overdo it.
Just kidding.
I think other people would overdo it, to be honest.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's I guess that's
Wow,
me.
that's so gay.
That's so gay.
I'm not even homophobic.
Gay. Enough. Fuckers. Nah, I hate y'all motherfuckers, man. Next Tuesday, y'all all dead. Nah, you know what? Okay, so I think we said favorite part about D&D. What's your favorite moment? And by the way, if you have questions in chat, put them in there, because I'm like trying to jot them down as best as I can.
We should start an Ask FM.
Say again?
I'm gonna take like 2 seconds, like a quick, just put together a quick Ask FM.
Yeah. Let's see here. Who has it?
Shouldn't take too long, right? Here, I can do it.
Yeah,
You
go for it.
continue talking.
Let's see here. What has been the most surprising thing they have done so far? I think it's the Dragon Cave, where they went to see the young black dragon and how they handled it.
Yeah.
Surprising, as in it wasn't so much their actions from Belinda and Malesh, because I knew that's how their characters go. It's how fast it went to shit, because there was, certain things that could have went differently, but it just didn't, which is fine, because that type of shit happens all the time.
I wasn't expecting the KO from all across the board. I mean,
We
I
almost
died right off
died.
the bat.
We were supposed to die.
All three of us.
We were absolutely
All
supposed to
unconscious
die.
and not
All of us
thinking
were
of
supposed
dying.
to be gone.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Like I didn't think it was gonna go happen that fast. Well, for Vicken, what was the most surprising thing for you?
Most surprising thing?
What's something that's happened that you're like, holy shit?
Just the whole situation where Bronze was going through multiple universes while we were like all of us were in a fight at the bottom of a tree. Like it was just
I
hectic.
forgot about that fight.
Yeah, it was a lot of going back and forth. That was kind of cool.
She literally crossed, I think, what was it, 2 planes?
Yep.
While we were just sitting there, like.
She went into the
Yeah.
Fae and the Shadow fell and then back. It was pretty cool.
She went portal about it.
Yeah. Just.
Yep.
Bronze out fucking flying through. That was the night that
That
we did
was
this
like
smoke.
Go ahead and throw your
I mean,
guys.
Go and use the
There
Ask
you go.
FM, guys. Go ahead and click that right there.
Oh my god, this
Yeah,
is
go ahead and get you guys. Yeah.
It's your question.
Cool.
I think I know how this works.
Put in a question and then.
Also, if you have a favorite part, put it in chat, and we'd love to see those too.
Yeah.
Like you guys are equally
Yeah.
here with us every week following the story. So the fact that you guys have favorite parts that I've been seeing in the chat is just super cool.
Except for Panda. Panda is not allowed to say anything.
Like my favorite part is just I hate being so like vague, but I just feel like it gets better and better. So like my favorite part is next week because it's gonna be crazy and I'm gonna kind of know what to do, you know, like. And then the week after that, I'm always anticipating what's gonna happen. So I mean, every time
now that we
end
have-
the show, it's just like, why? So I kind of like.
I mean, now that we have
looking
the
forward.
amulets, we're gonna be going everywhere. So I mean, like it's unending. I mean, we've seen 2 angels already, sorrow and death. That's fantastic. But I mean, with more story development, the higher we go, the farther we go.
I think
I'm just gonna go ahead and
one of the things
Yeah.
I'm most excited for is
jump
that
back right there.
if there's a TPK, like an actual one, like if you all die, what happens next? And I think the one thing I'm super excited for is, say for example, that the Daisy's Grin story ends. Now, everyone except for Bronzy, right? Everyone has a kind of idea of what direction they want to go. You know, stuff like that. Whatever I think the next story that we put together, and the story that you guys tell is going to be fucking insane. I think it's going to top this one, to be honest with you.
I mean-
mouse cursor off my face.
Oh, I'm gonna put it right in your nose. Hold on, there it is. I'm gonna put it right on. No, don't run from me, girl. Come here. No, it's fine. Do we have any questions yet? I can't even see that.
Yeah, we do.
Go for it.
The first question is for Based.
Oh shit.
How does it feel to be rich? You've been working all your life.
Give me 1 second, guys. You're not gonna be able to hear
Wait.
from my end, but
She asked you that and not me? I feel offended.
this is for EK right here. I'm playing it for a second. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Oh, copyright. Copyright.
There we go. Yeah. Fuck. All right.
It like turned all brown. The sun came out.
I'm surprised you're not ducking the sun rays.
Second question.
Sun came
Yeah, we actually had 2. What helped
Oh.
you with RP? What helped build your RP?
I'll let you guys answer that, and I'll give an answer for that.
Is that for everyone or?
Guess that's for everyone, right? Bronze, go first.
Hmm.
What helps you with RP,
Yeah.
Bronze?
First?
Yeah, go for it.
You the vet.
You the man.
When I first started, I kind of have a funny story revolving this. So, like I was saying, I picked one of the prestige classes from the Book of Vile Darkness back in the day, and I played a Cancer Mage, and they're pretty interesting. You should look them up. And I didn't understand RP exactly, and I started the campaign, and the people I played with, I didn't really know. They were just some people from my college. They killed me on the very first time I played. and I flipped the table over and picked up my mini and I walked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
Right off the bat.
What a
Yep.
great time.
And what it did though is it taught me two things. Number one, never play with neckbeards. And they were terrified of me after I flipped all their stuff over and threw their dice everywhere. And the second thing it taught me was basic of RP is the moral compass. And that is, are you chaotic evil, neutral evil, lawful evil, etc., etc. And what I didn't realize when I made my character is you cannot be an evil cancer mage playing with a group of righteous do-gooders who are off because if they're assholes, they will kill you at the very first time that you play the game. And then you're going to throw their stuff everywhere and they're going to look at you like you're a crazy person. Just literally throw their pens and papers on the ground. For me, like, that helped me. Every time I like make a character, I start with who am I playing with and where do I lie on this moral compass? And so a lot of people ask me, like, how do you know if you're doing something in character? And you come back to, would my character do this? Or would my character know this? And a lot of people were like, you knew it was a dragon's cave. Why did you steal the gems? And I was like, because I know that. But Belinda, who's never left the small village, doesn't know that.
That's real.
She's
And she is
yes.
self-serving.
So,
And so
exactly.
you just always revert back to this compass. Like, you revert back to what race you play. What would they know? Their upbringing. What languages would they speak? What is their world experience like? Like, how would they know that this scroll or this ring is valuable? I've played characters that threw away magical items because they just didn't think they were magical. They thought they were silly or worthless. And so you just come back to that. It starts with, like, when you start writing your character's story, you should really think about their values. So once again, that moral, like, where they fall on the moral chart, and then, like, you know, what race they are. Like, I think Zot's character is very unique. Most drow are evil. And so typically if you're playing a drow, you're not going to do things that are very nice. And certain races are kind of inherently evil. And certain races are kind of inherently good, and some are just very self-serving. So the second you start to, like, every time you're at a crossroads, you should constantly be checking in with that. If you want to, like, start to hone your RP, you have to think, I know what I would do. I would never kill this NPC. My character,
Maybe.
they probably,
Yep.
in their mind, a gnome's life probably isn't worth that much, you know? So you have to start thinking there.
Mad.
Imagine.
Out,
Yep.
you know?
Oh man.
What about you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, what was it? Just kind of touching up on the kind of, what was it? Just making the drought character, thinking, oh, you know, kind of thinking of games I used to play and everything like that. Playing Skyrim, dark elves are, you know, accepted in society for the most part, kind of, not really, but kind of going off of this and, like, thinking, oh, that'll be totally implemented into D&D, not realizing, hey, yeah, they're not accepted. The big ass war, pure evil. So I kind of threw a spin on it where he felt that he wasn't a part of that drow life. He didn't feel like he was a part of that society. So he went in seclusion, and quickly realizing the rest of the world doesn't accept him, he stayed in seclusion for so long they just became a full-on hermit. And after so many years, he decided, let's give humanity another try and see what's out there. Let's go and do stuff. So kind of just breaking that off and still dealing with the racism and still dealing with the different situations I have to go through, or my character has to go through, just because of race. And that is a big factor. And if you're going to be playing, like, the, you know, this really awesome, you know, oh, this would totally cool up paper, doesn't always mean it's going to be easy to RP. Doesn't mean it's always going to be necessarily, like, well, easy to get around or easy to do things. It's a whole other, I guess, game when you're thinking about RP wise. So yeah, definitely a learning curve for me.
You brought up a good point there, which is, like, when you're making your character, usually you think about how you're going to play it, but you don't think about how everyone else is going to play it and how the NPCs are going to play it. And that is why D&D is unique. Like, I had sat there and like wrote this like incredibly interesting character and came into this campaign and these neckbeards are like, you're evil. And it didn't register that would ever happen. And you kind of went through that where you're like, everybody hates me, but I'm not evil. And it's like, it's almost, Skyrim does emulate that. That was a perfect example because they do that too. Like, you know, I played a Khajiit and everywhere you go, they're like, keep your hands to yourself, cat. And you're like, I have never stolen in this game. Not even a single thing, except that one time I stole a cake because I needed the help.
Fucking
The whole kit.
tomatoes? Cakes? I think the RP is interesting. I know nothing of RP before I came in. The only RP that I ever had was like the kids from drama class because they, you know, I just figure RPing is acting and acting is RPing, same shit. And then Critical Role, right? But I can't compare myself ever to Critical Role because number one, I'm not talented with the voices, and I will never try to attempt either because it'll just sound like shit.
I like when you try though.
I try to like do some shit, but like I figured that was the one thing that I was like the worst at. Mechanics I'm not sound on, but like the RPing in the beginning was terrible from me as a DM. So I as soon as I started trying to step that up, using like different types of references to, you know, RP better and reading a whole lot of shit. Like I've read more pertaining to D&D and RP than I ever did when I tried to play Eve. And I read a shit ton of stuff for Eve. Every NPC has a character or has a story behind them at this point. So every character that you guys could meet, you guys could ask questions and they'll have answers for it. You guys never do, but that's okay. It's not like, oh, this is work for nothing. And no, it's not, because who gives a shit if what this person's backstory is? That's not important.
Yeah, they had really good weapons.
If you guys don't ask, cool, but like it's my job, I think, as a DM to be able to RP better and use the tools that I have to kind of say, hey, this person is, you know, from here and they don't like this type of shit and you guys did this here and this is how it affects them. And I remember talking to Bronzy about having the alignments, you know, neutral, chaotic, evil, and all that other stuff. And it would be crazy for me to say, okay, everyone from here is this or this, this, and this. I always have to realize that there's so much stuff going on in this world because I try to keep it a living, breathing world. So there's stuff that's going on. For example, when they were doing all these adventures, there was stuff that was going on that was affecting characters that we haven't seen since the second or third episode. And maybe I overthink it, but I just think that, hey, maybe Bronze is going to ask Mayor Knight, you know, from Greenest how he's doing today. And maybe he had a shit day. You know, stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Or like, why is this happening? I have to be able to facilitate that as a DM. I think as a player, the cool thing is that they don't have to deal with all that type of responsibility. They can just play off of as one person. And I think it's more fun as a DM though, because I get to be like, well, I don't like this person anyway, so I'm gonna set it up so they fucking die. You know what I'm saying? As a NPC, I mean, I can't kill Vic, even when I did try, so I don't know what to tell you.
They tried a lot. I think I was knocked out, what, three times in total?
Yeah,
Three or 4 times?
Out of here. Bronzy, what's the other questions we got?
Oh, let me check.
I've been broke all my life. That's for you, Ika.
How many moments have there been involving feces? My personal favorite is the robe.
Okay, so there was the river incident.
There's a
all
lot.
the time.
Bronzy shit her pants.
I think
Yeah.
Yes, she
I don't
did.
V shit her
Once.
pants. Once.
V shit her pants with the bow.
With the bow.
When the bow broke, V shit her.
In my defense, I've made more people shit than I've shit.
Oh
Your
yeah,
ratio is high.
your shitty
Your
karma has
ratio
not
is
come
high.
back to
I
you
have
yet.
like a 10-to-1 poop ratio.
That should cancel that.
How
I
out.
think it's like,
You
actually, I
shit.
think it's like 20 to 1.
There's
Yeah.
gonna be an implement. Like I'm gonna
Half
implement.
orcs are very good at intimidation.
It's basically every stream. They
someone
either
shits.
shit or don't. Someone pretty much shits. If they don't, it's kind of rare, and you're just kind of like,
I'm gonna set it
Where's
up to
the
where
shit?
that every time that
Where's the
Bronzy
shit?
or someone makes someone intimidate within this group, it's like a sacrificial shit, and the shit demon's gonna come and they're gonna fight the shit demon at the end, like fucking Dogma. I'm gonna have you fight a rubber poop monster.
We're not gonna fight the shit demon.
You're gonna fight the rubber poop monster, and it's gonna have
Porta
rust
potty
effect
does
on
not
it. Like,
deserve
what else we got,
toilet
Bronzy?
paper stuck to the bottom of its foot. Just running around.
How
Go, you're good.
long do you see this going on with this group of characters and this group of people? So I think there's two parts to that question. Because how long?
I'll
the
answer that.
game,
I'll do that first, real fast.
And then, yeah.
How long with this group of characters? They should have been dead 3 episodes ago. How long are they gonna keep going? As long as they fucking go. Like I really rarely ever put something in front of them that they could have dropped that black dragon. They could have. It was a young one. There was certain shit that in place that they just didn't notice, which is fine. They could have or not. That's just how D&D works. But I tend to try to keep things that are within the challenge level that which is fair. But at the same time, they've missed 2 situations where they were insta deaths almost. Like it would have been all shitty. But I put those things in there to how you could get out of them. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of leave it up to them to kill themselves. I don't need any help. I just kind of set the scenario, and they'll find a way. Like it's one of these days they're gonna figure it out.
It'll
But no,
probably be
honestly,
me.
I don't know. As long as they're having fun and as long as their characters are progressing and not dying, that's as far that's to me. I don't got nothing cracking on for me for Tuesday nights for the first year. Fuck Tuesday nights. I'm here for it.
Much. Like Tuesdays are usually like.
Yeah, I'm
So,
here to be a pain
I got something to look forward to.
in the ass to these people. Like, yo, y'all dying tonight. They ain't dying.
Yay! Make my day.
He says that every night.
Die.
Every night.
It's been closer and closer, fucker.
It's a Wednesday. You'll die tonight. What? We're done.
Yep.
It's not even.
It's not even D&D. You die. Oh, okay.
It's gonna happen.
What's up next, Bronzy?
If you could choose how your character could die, how would you want them to
That's
die?
a very good question.
Can I talk about V? If V was gonna die, because I haven't really connected to this character yet.
Go for it.
Like if I killed, I mean, if this character died tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, well, oh.
Shit. Yeah,
Well-
I mean, we didn't know your name for a whole episode. We didn't even bother asking.
I still don't know her name, if I'm being honest. I forgot.
Was it Satan?
It's Satan. Remember
Satan.
Satan?
Yep.
They did.
Satan.
Sorry, I'm
Um,
freezing.
I think if V
Say Dookie.
would end up going out in like a trolley feat of strength death where she would like she would get taken over by all these creepy little gremlins and just be like, that's all I have. I think it would be trolley. I don't think she'd have a huge triumphant finish.
Just something trolley.
Something trolley. Because why
Fitzy.
not?
What about you, Vigan?
Not.
Calling someone a bitch?
Yeah, calling the wrong person a bitch, or stealing
Calling
the
the
wrong
wrong
thing,
person a bitch.
or stealing the wrong thing with my heavy plate armor and trying to get away,
Fucking
fighting a-
balls. The
or
one
just
time you-
fighting a
yeah,
bunch of demons, trying to kill as many as I can before.
Go
I
out like Broxelgar.
exactly.
What about you, Bronzy?
I think Belinda had such a tumultuous childhood because her dad's an orc and her mom was a bandit queen, and I feel like at some point she's gonna want to track them down, especially now that she's so estranged from her normal family. And I would like to see Belinda go down in a blaze of glory battling her dad for the rights to a bandit tribe. I think that would be amazing. Her dad is has one of the biggest orc tribes in the region. I think that would be a way for her to go. I don't think she would beat him, but I think that
Maybe with the help of the Daisies of Grin.
maybe. But I think that would be like,
How would
yeah.
how would Belinda
She's
react?
never fit in.
How would Belinda react to Malesh calling Belinda's father a bitch?
Probably not kindly. I think on some level she'd probably respect this man. The thing about Belinda is I don't know if the viewers have noticed, but over the course of the campaign, she has become less gnome-like and more coming into her own. She's almost like going through puberty, And when she
What's-
first started, she was really trying to be something that she's not. And she used to think, and I even told Base about this, like every time Belinda makes a intimidation check, she thinks she's making a persuasion check. She actually thinks she's very crafty and very sexy, and really like they're terrified of her. And she started to realize that more and more. So as the campaign goes on, she's becoming more orcish and more like a person of words, you know. She just charges in now a lot more than before, because before she was so hell-bent on like being a like very, I've got to prove that I'm crafty and I'm gnome-like.
It's probably because of
Now
all the
she's
shit.
like-
It's like
Yeah.
all the shit there, and she's probably like, yeah.
That's great
Yeah,
persuasion.
when you don't fit in
Yeah.
with a group of people, like you start to, you know, like if you try, it's like if you try out for the cheerleading team 82 times, you start to hate cheerleading and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to join the basketball team instead, right? That's where Belinda's at right now. And somewhere, you know, like when I chose specification, I actually switched. Is originally I started out as, what kind of thief did I start out as? I started out as a different spec, and then I switched to assassination. And I did clear it with the DM, but that was part of her shifting gears and becoming more a woman of action and less a woman of words. So, yeah, it would be cool to see her face that man down. I think she owes a lot to him, but I think she also is not happy with how he kind of fucked her from birth, you know?
I take it back. I think when the story will end is when everyone ties up their personal stories. And I think over the next, like, because I've been leaning towards it and writing, and I think over the next about a month and a half, 2 months, everyone's shit's going to be intertwined somehow. And that's going to be the fun part, I think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die.
I'm not crossing that bridge. Shit.
My story deals with the Duke of Hell. I'm gonna die. If you're working in this soon.
What about you, Zot? What would you be the blaze of glory or the way that you go out? How do you think?
2 words: sacrifice Zot.
Can we get the sacrifice Zot in chat, please?
You would get someone to stab his chest.
Honestly, if shit was, say like the fight with the dragon wasn't going too well, I would have pushed everybody through the portal and stopped it. Just
But it wasn't working and everyone died, so you're lying.
yeah.
I would have 1v1 the dragon, but I had other
I
plans.
don't want to go, guys.
Fucking baby miss.
I'll fight this dragon. It's fine.
Burn the drow.
Burn the drow.
Burn the drow.
What else we
Baby's
got?
a racist.
Bronzy.
Yep.
She's
Oh.
savage.
A little bit.
You're my questionnaire, goddammit. Do your job!
Do you guys actually want to have a game against normal bandits?
What do you mean again?
Like normal bandits.
Oh, like normal thieves?
Instead of
Simple
fighting like
bandits?
cultists
Magic
and
users.
magic and
Stay tuned.
It's really not up to us, honestly. We just kind of play the game.
Stay tuned.
So yeah, I would stay tuned.
I don't think it would work in like this campaign right now, but I don't see why it wouldn't work in a future one.
yeah, we're literally planewalkers at this point. So I mean, it-
I don't even know where we
You'll
at.
see. It'll be lit. It might be lit. What else we got?
I'm excited.
okay, yeah, those words.
Be excited.
That's it. That's
No.
all.
I'm gonna die.
That's all?
You're gonna die.
Okay.
Probably.
I'll post it again in case other people are
Yeah.
wondering.
If you guys have questions, go to this Ask
Any
FM.
question you want, do it. Everybody put in a
Yep.
question. These are
Now,
fun.
what would be a game that you guys would want to play that's not Dungeons and Dragons?
I really want to do that Star Wars one that we have.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
Star
it.
Wars one.
Fire?
Yeah. The Star Wars one might be like the most lit.
Or Shadowrun. I've heard a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff about it, but I've
Shadowrun's
never played it.
I've heard.
I have the
once-
core book. I gotta read it, man. I just
Shadowrun's amazing.
I don't have anything on it. I need to read everything.
Yeah.
Shadowrun's good.
Is it really that like? Oh yeah, that's right. You did a session with it, didn't you?
What? She's up in Seattle, so that's like Shadowrun world, man. Like that's like the hub of all Shadowrun.
It's okay. Shadowrun's cool because like a lot of pen and paper games, like even like Mouse Garden stuff and Pathfinder focus on like more of a medieval theme or fantasy theme, and
Mhm.
Shadowrun is like a part of a crock of them, including Masquerade, the vampire,
Yep.
the Bloodlines. That's just like no, we're gonna go a totally different direction with it. So you can there's hackers, there's AIs, there's like synths. You can play so many different.
Oh
It just
god.
really changes your approach to pen and paper because it does it so differently. Just like if you ever play there's like a plethora of steampunk pen and paper games out there, and if you play any of them, it totally changes the way the game is played because magic doesn't exist. So yeah, no, those types of things are fun. Edge of the Empire is fun, and I've played a couple of sessions of that. But I think like in the future, instead of playing a Pathfinder type of thing, I would like to play something like that. I will say Mouse Guard is fun because you encounter very similar to scenarios to what you would do in a normal D&D campaign, except now you're mice. So it
I
makes
was
you
about to say.
outside of the normal headspace. Like you have an acorn shell for a shield, and you have like
Mouse Guard sounds fun.
a
I actually
needle.
like that one.
It's
Or a
literally
sword.
your
yeah, and
when
you
you
fight
said
things
mouse guard,
like
I'm like,
snakes.
it's a code name.
Nope, you play
You
mice.
actually, you're a
And you
okay.
fight like badgers, and you might have a hedgehog tank that is your friend, and yeah, so it makes you think like the simplest of things become like huge insurmountable objects in Mouse Guard. Like we just kind of tramp through the fields, like we cross rivers, we climb over mountains, we do all this stuff. In Mouse Guard, you're like, all right, we got to build a boat to get across this river because we can't do it any other way. And so I like it for that reason. But yeah, I think Edge of the Empire is that kind of cool too.
I think the imagination on mouse guard would actually be like
Yep.
really just
Fun.
funny.
I think
It would
Mouse Guard might be lit. Like I enjoy like the Sword Coast setting, but I think since we're kind of getting better at this, I think seeing it in another setting would be great. That's for me at least. I mean, at this point, I'd love to DM anything, like as long as I do it right. I think Shadowrun's kind of out of my league at the moment, but I think at some point, if I really, really like press it and I like fucking dedicate myself to it, I think I'll be able to pull it off. I don't think anyone here really wants to DM. I think Bronzy's the only one that ever said anything about DMing.
I've thought about it, mostly just because like I'm one of those like neckbeards that can't sit still. I'll try to, but I'm just like that would be an intimidator roll, not a trim roll. Like that would be like an acrobatics check, not like I get that stuff.
I mean, you get the book in the back of your head from so many years. So, I mean, it's just gonna come naturally
Yeah.
now.
Well, yeah, and I just need to like loosen up.
A beer.
I love
beer.
playing with Dave. I really do. I think he's a
Bronzy is low key telling me I'm shit. That's crazy.
No!
Wow.
No!
Wow.
No!
What a time to be alive.
No.
No.
I mean,
That's what I heard.
That's what I
I mean,
heard.
you've
I heard
been
it.
Honestly,
for-
you know what I think it is? I think it's easier for me because I'm just keeping track of my character. So like when somebody casts a spell like 4 times, I'm like, Zot, how many times did you cast that? Because you you didn't take a short rest, Whereas you're like controlling the monsters, keeping in your mind where we're standing, where the monsters are standing. You're handling a lot more.
Bronzy's
I'm like
telling
a
me I'm
back-
trash.
No,
Bronzy's called me some.
Yeah, no.
Bronzy's called me some doo doo, bro. No, it's fine, man. It's all good.
Yep.
I know. I already know
That's what I
I'm
heard.
weak at. I've literally been like, okay, I suck at this, so let me do better at this, so I can overshadow what I suck at, and then maybe get better at during the.
But
during the
before
time.
you went on a self-hate fest.
yeah.
Well, listen. Every single so if you go look at the entire scape of D&D, everyone wants to be fucking Mercer. Everyone's doing all this other shit, and I just look at them like, damn, dude, I'm like nowhere near that. But over time, I'm like, well, I'm happy that I'm not. That's okay.
Yeah,
So
he's a
I'm cool
different
now.
style.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay now. Like I'm
Yeah.
all right. Hey, man, it's fucking pressure, bro.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, like, I didn't wanna I think that I wouldn't be a good DM because I would bring that vibe too much into a game. Whereas you wouldn't. But the reason I'm always interested is I like want to set up the universe and then play it, like, okay, this is the scenario. We're in a post-apocalyptic dystopian, like I want to like set the narrative.
No, I feel you.
I want somebody else to run it, Like write it and have somebody else run it.
I
So
wanted to play as a player, but I still want to. I just don't have time. The only time during the week that I have to like say I don't give a fuck what's happening. I'm setting a couple hours. Leave me alone. I'm locking my door. Don't ask me shit unless there's food, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to be my dwarf cleric. I wanted to do it so bad. Because you played the monk back on the other one. You were a monk. It was a monk. It wasn't a dark elf though.
I was a rogue.
Yeah.
I was playing a dark elf.
rogue.
Flaffy was the monk. Flaff was the monk.
He was a fighter.
Who was the monk? There was a monk there.
I don't think so.
Nobody was a monk.
I don't know shit. I wasn't even the DM.
Base wants to be a monk.
I want to be a monk. I'll be a drunken monk.
No, oh god, I miss that character so much. Guys,
I actually did RP at one point. I did RP once.
Yep.
And
It'll never happen again.
He only RPs as dwarves.
So good.
Only as dwarves. What would you say, Bronzy? You
Oh,
said something.
nothing. I have more questions if you want them.
Let's
though.
run it. Let's go.
Okay. Sentinel ship monsters. Is it possible?
Sentinel shit monsters. Anything's possible.
Oh.
Yep.
I mean, we had a
And,
talking rock
fighting
named
it.
Potato. What the fuck? Like, are you serious?
And then, what are those? That's a question.
God damn it.
Next question.
I'm just like,
It's so insightful, though. What was
Another Banty question.
okay.
How did you feel as players and characters when Kumon died?
Okay, let me stop real fast.
seen him, though.
Is Kumon dead, though?
He's not really dead.
Yeah, I don't think he's
But-
dead.
He's been around a lot. I mean,
But I mean, experiencing like him or of having EK pop back up with his scythe.
that was kind of crazy.
That was, and then having EK fight for somebody else. I think that literally.
But
like,
EK was the person that brought EK into the fold, though.
Mhm.
So that makes more sense than anything. But or at least I thought. But it's all good. I don't.
When
well,
we saw him, she was like,
no.
Not-
when she saw
Definitely.
EK pop up, I think, because they never liked each other, because there was always like this weird, like,
Oh yeah, you're talking shit to a demon.
yeah, no. I mean, you could answer that question if what you could have felt. I mean, but I don't. I know no one ever.
I mean,
said-
I think that's what they meant, like where, instead of him dying, like actually having him just kind of gone, where
Well,
he was in the shadow plane or
Yeah.
Shadowfell.
the Shadowfell, yeah, for I mean, who knows how long? Because last time he was trying to resurrect and bring back EK, and then all of a sudden she comes back and
Well, when you go to, from what I read in the DM thing, when you go to the Shadowfell for so long and you actually stay over there because it's another plane, it does shit to you. Kumon has been there for a while. I mean, how much humanity does he have left? Type deal. I'll just say it that way. But on the cool, I kind of kept Kumon in the fold because I don't know if Fip's going to play again ever. I don't know what's going on with that, but we have a full group now, so I just want to keep him in the mix. Like, hey, if he ever jumps back in, he has a fucking character to play, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But yeah, man, what other questions do we have?
Yeah. I was gonna say like that was for me too, like as a play, because he said as a player and as a character. As a player, it was definitely like, oh, that sucks. Because
Fip
my
was fun
character
until he fell
always got
asleep.
along with Fip.
Until he
Yeah,
fell
like-
asleep on the stream, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but as like characters, Fip, I'm dying.
You all right?
no dying. Breathe, woman.
I'm okay.
There you
Fip
go.
and my character always got along, so
It's our
Yeah.
only friend.
we
I
riffed
got
off
to
each
sit
other a lot.
on his shoulder at least. Before you.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I said I'm Belinda, I think.
What else do we got?
Okay, so Mav, why not more magic missile to the Peewis?
Okay, I'll make sure to do that.
Next question. How do each of y'all imagine the scenery around you in D&D? And that's from Bear.
I kind of imagine it like more like medieval, kind of like what the map looks like. A little more before medieval time-ish, because of elves and, magic just going around the world and just knowing that nothing is like not alive. Everything is alive. Like the tree could probably be peeping on you. So yeah, lots of magic in this world.
It's hard for me to like describe what the scenery looks like because it's changed so much. We've been to so many different places.
Well, if we went by what it changed, then everything's a crater. So there's smoke everywhere.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
During the next campaign, which I already have ready, not next campaign, but the next episode, I already thought about that because you guys are back in Greenest now. What's going on in Greenest? What's happening?
It's been a couple months.
Even though you guys are like planewalkers at this point, there's other stuff that's going on within the world. You know what I mean?
Time didn't stop still.
I tried to. It's cool. Like, Zot and Vicken, go ahead and answer the question real fast, so I can.
What was the question one more time?
Like how you imagine the world.
Oh, I mean, it's been described pretty well already. I mean, a lot of stuff's been going on, particularly with our characters. I mean, crossing planes and everything like that. Just, I guess, right time, right place. But at the same time, I mean, going to a monastery way far up north and where it's being controlled by mind flayers. I mean, you didn't really see that happening. That was something else. And then, I mean, having an invisible island, having all this stuff going on, it's magic. Literally, it's. I don't think it's so much in the. I guess there was a reason to fear magic, but people are still practicing it, and it's getting to that point where it's being used more and more, but people are not remembering what has happened with it. So they're just kind of, I guess, keeping it to themselves, but at the same time, ready to bust it out for their own willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
The willy-nilly.
Oh, willy-nilly, like, yeah, yonder.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way where like some of the places are like kind of shrouded by mystery, just of like magical, like just because of like all the magic that's going on in those places. Like you said, Invisible Island, and like a massive tree just filled with elves.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all like mysterious. But when we're in like town, I always get this feeling like I imagine it like kind of medieval, but like more of like a Knight's Tale, like the movie vibe, where like it's more casual and just kind of fun. Yeah,
Trading, and I mean the outside world doesn't really matter. Everyone's
yeah, exactly.
Themselves.
Exactly.
I like that mentality though. Kind of feeling safe in a place like that, but
But there's like
then they start closing the doors.
but like half a day's journey, and it's
people
like
doing there.
everything's going crazy. It's awesome.
They see a drow.
What else we got, Bronzy?
What about a battle royale between the party and even maybe players from the other groups for a big event or something like that?
Well,
Also, rip Potato Lorak.
So real fast,
Who asked that?
I'm talking to you guys about it, but when we originally started this, it was only one group, and the coolest thing ever is the community came together and they started doing two. There's two other FriendZone 9000 FKSD groups. Originally, this was called Fat Kid Social Club Dungeons and Dragons. It turned into FriendZone 9000. There's two other groups on Mondays and Thursdays, and I think there's one shots on Tuesdays. Those other two groups live and exist in this world, and I've been trying to make it so where, and I have to, talk to Vicken and I have to talk to the other DM about what's been going on and how it affects their world, because I want them to basically be like, hey, one day Zot might show up to do some RP in that group, and it'll be like, what the fuck, this is crazy. A big battle royale, y'all don't want it with this group, to be honest. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. I'm just gonna be
That
real.
would be really cool, though. You
It would
don't
be
really
cool.
see
That'd be cool,
that
but-
kind of interaction.
Actually,
with other
one of the other groups
So-
is pretty overpowered. So yeah.
So just because you're not on like the show when we do it live doesn't mean
Oh
you don't
no,
have
that's
to
not
get
that at all.
involved.
No,
You know,
no,
like,
no, that's not what I'm
The
trying to
fact
say.
that their world is going to be in turn with our world is just really cool.
But yeah, y'all get your ass whooped.
It's basically what I'm trying to say. Is this really?
Have you seen Vicken's rolls? Have you seen like when Bronze wants to step up to the plate?
no.
yeah,
Now I'm out here
after
cleaning shit up.
yesterday-
I'm not here for that stagger. No.
I heard
After
Vicken
yesterday,
is savage.
I don't feel confident.
I'm kind of
After-
happy he's not my
Bron-
DM.
Bronze pulls
I've
out that
seen
fucking
Sloaner's
dagger,
rolls.
the fucking black dick dagger with ooze coming out of it and shit.
Oh god.
Yesterday, I saw Sloaner do in one round. He did 40 something damage to something.
What level is he?
He's level 5.
Okay.
Well, Sloan has to be something good at something in his life. Jesus, might as well be.
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
With the what was it, the vacuum? Gotta help him on anything else.
What else do we need? What else we got? Young Bronze.
Have any of you ever thought of playing a spell thief?
Almost. Like my
Oh, yeah, you're really...
my mage was kind of going to be like a dagger holding like magical, thing, and I couldn't do it, so I just did a mage. So yeah, almost had one.
Yeah, I never thought about it. I think if I were to make another character, like I have it kind of carved out in my mind, and I'm not gonna give away details, but let's just say I would be playing an instrument.
Oh, it's fucking lit.
Oh, that'd be
That was the other one I wanted to RP.
Yes.
Stinky
They
Finger
don't
Jones
know.
would have been a bard. It would have been
Oh my
great.
god, that would have been good.
A
That would've been
gnome?
the best.
No, a
No,
dwarf.
No, he would
A
be
dwarf
Oh,
bard.
dwarf.
Let's be honest, he's gonna be a bard. He's gonna be a dwarf no matter what.
I literally just
Yeah.
thought of that song
Anybody
too.
that has been here long enough to see him base stream and see him do his Stinky Finger Jones.
No one. Oh,
God,
No, I never did that on
God.
stream before. No, I
never on
never-
Really?
stream. Never on stream.
No.
No.
Come on, B.
That's a late night.
Well, yeah,
That's late night
super
stream.
late
That's
night.
drunken VOD streams. When I get fucked up and I go on his stream like, listen, bitch.
Oh God, I remember that. Oh my.
What's the next question?
I can't remember
was
what
like-
Stinky Finger.
I was gonna
Yeah,
like
right.
play out and wait and see if it
Stinky
actually
Finger
happened.
Jones.
No. All right. Yeah. What was that next question?
What do you think Based should improve on? He will only kill one of your characters, Kappa.
What was it again? Sorry.
What do you think Based should improve on? He will only kill one of your characters, Kappa.
I've been so nice to you fucks. I've given y'all so many bones, man. I'm a terrible DM. I should let y'all die.
And then some.
What next? What do we got?
We
Next
don't
question.
get to answer
No.
it?
Go for it. Go for it. No. B. I don't. You guys know me enough. I'm not sensitive like that. Go for it.
Oh.
I mean,
I don't think there's anything that he did an angel hand at that point and helped us. That's all I took from that. It wasn't like, he's breaking the game.
Yeah, I poke Based a lot after the stream. I'll be like, you did this wrong.
No, I'd rather people tell me when I'm fucking up, and she does, so I don't mind that.
Yeah.
No.
So I can't really tell him how to improve because I do that every day.
Aw,
Consider it.
go
They
fuck
can't
I love
yourself.
it. He's a great DM because the thing about Based is like he's willing to work with you as a player, which a lot of times DMs aren't. And I think that we as players take that for granted because a lot of us haven't played with a lot of other people. But there's times where you have DMs that will straight up say, no, you can't do that, or tell you that you fail on a roll that you probably won on. I mean, I'm wearing a shirt that says you can't see me rolling because DMs can actually do anything behind the DM screen. And I think Based works with us, and he is willing to mold the story around what we want to do with it. He kind of takes his lead from us and from what we're feeling. You know, if I want to drop Mav's character off a ledge because I don't like her, he's going to let me do that instead of being like, stop it, Bronze, just play the game. And I think that is what Based is.
That kind of happened, though.
yeah.
Well,
No.
okay,
V-
so
I dropped the smoke
midget,
bomb and then left you
so-
guys. Yep.
Which incident was it? Okay, so number one, I would never let Potato got kicked out. Fuck you. That would never happen. No, but it was so play on that, the mirror. If I never allowed Zot and Vicken to throw themselves and break the mirror storyline would have never happened. Ever. That would have never happened.
That's a lot of stuff too.
So yeah, we
That was
made this. Right?
You guys are welcome.
He also let
Yeah.
us like
Mhm.
rob he like
That was my
warned
favorite.
us several
That was my
times.
favorite.
Like, well, you guys are a parcel service, you know. People might lose faith if their parcels go missing.
guys
I'm
still
gonna
did
rip it open. You know,
Yep.
and Base is willing to work with you on that level. He's like, okay. He's a good DM because he's like, I'll find a way to punish you because fuck you for doing that. You know, like most DMs don't find a way to punish you. They just say, no, you can't do that.
That's just not to me. I just look at it as not fun. Why are we playing this if you guys aren't allowed to use your imagination?
Well, that's also like role playing. Role playing, you can't be like, you can't knock on the door today. Like you can't really do that.
No,
Someone's going to knock on your door.
You have to kill this
know?
boss before you do that.
That's the
Right.
whole beauty of
It's not
doing
a
a
game.
pen and paper compared to like a video game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like that's
Yeah,
the whole
but
point. Like
a
it's all
lot
based
of-
around
A
us.
lot of DMs, it's like, you know, they'll call you out on stuff like that would be out of character, or you know, you don't have the fortitude to open the packaging. You know, they'll find a fake way
Yeah.
to tell you that you can't.
That's boring.
Basically,
I'm sorry.
like-
The first
Yeah.
thing, the first
But I
thing the
think that's
DM
why you're a
manual,
good DM.
the first thing the manual tells you, just roll for it. If
Yeah.
it works, it works. If it doesn't, it
And
doesn't.
you don't rig the rolls as much as you honestly could. You could just tell us we
I
failed.
even told y'all. Do you want me to start showing you the rolls? Like I don't.
No, no, no.
No, I like a
I like
secret.
it.
I don't.
I like
you know what I'm saying?
I like-
I li-
Mhm.
I
I'm
like
saying,
to
I'm
see-
trying to give you a compliment.
And I'm
I know. I was
taking it.
gonna say, oh.
Oh, look at Bronze. Gay. You're so gay. Look at Bronze. Highlight this shit. Bronze. You love me, girl.
If you want to see a retape of this show here, you make sure you go to FriendZone YouTube. Okay.
I appreciate the compliment. Next question.
So in 5e, what is the most overpowered killing machine and unkillable tank? All opinions and why.
Wait, what is the most? What?
Like a class.
Most
Yeah. What is the
OP.
most overpowered killing machine and unkillable tank? All opinions and why.
Unkillable. For Zot being a non-armor having dude, he is a pain in the ass to hurt.
Monks are pretty
Um,
overpowered.
They have-
Monks
I
are
haven't-
overpowered.
I have not been using my dodges. I haven't been doing anything. I mean, I could have been multi-punching level 1 that I didn't.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but I'm like,
Zot's like,
you-
Zot's fucked up.
if I wasn't there to like protect you as much, then you would
I
be
would've
forced
dropped.
to start
Oh, no.
using those dodges. No, like you
That's
would
true.
use
Oh,
more
I should
dodges.
take a lot of damage.
If Vicky
Yeah.
didn't show up for the vampire episode, then you guys probably would have died that
I would've
episode.
Mhm.
That
I
would have
would've
been.
been
I think that was
I think
Bronze.
I'm getting like set steadily more like ridiculous as I level up. I think I started
are-
really weak,
When you
but now I'm like,
your rolls,
That's how rogues are. They just like shoot up.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Or, like,
dodge a
damage.
lot. Like I'm always the last one standing. I always take the least amount of damage.
you're always on the
I
good
always
side
do
too.
really
You're
good
always in the back.
damage.
You're always in the back
Yeah.
too. So it's
Yeah.
Malesh became the tank because of he'll sentinel everything under the sun, but
Mhm.
it sets
That's
it up
all everything
perfect
is.
because I cannot wait to see what Satan and Belinda do together, because that might be interesting. Because I know sorcerers have certain things, but like Belinda, because she's been so ridiculous, like I think that they
think
just have
she
the
would take-
aggro as far
Well,
as Malesh and,
yeah,
and,
that's
and
true.
Zod.
if the
Yeah.
damage is being dealt, then it's
Yep.
gonna hurt.
It's gonna be
Belinda's
interesting.
really ballsy. She's gotten much ballsy, and then Satan is
Much
more
ballsy.
comfortable now, and you know she trusts these.
Well, Belinda's
these
not out here
guys.
rolling one. She fucked up her character sheet and she was fucking off. And now it's like it's everyone else rolling ones. There was a good 2 episodes where all she was rolling was
I
ones.
know. I kind of wish.
And I was
had
sitting there. I'm like, okay, I gotta get her a dagger. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what's wrong. Get her a dagger. Do something dope. Fuck it. She's sitting there. I'm like, everyone else hitting shit. She's like, I'm rolling a fucking 1 again. I'm like, dog, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. Somebody hacked your shit. Like you need to go and fucking return your computer or something.
And I leveled up, and everything was just like,
I was about to say you went like from like level 3 to
A
level
whole new
6.
world.
Now I want to take away
Yeah.
that fucking
Yeah.
dagger. Fuck.
That's
Plus
why
5
Goose-
daggers.
Was that what happened?
and it just got better abilities, like guaranteed crits
Just
on
leveled up.
Mhm.
advantage on rolls. Having advantage has helped quite a bit. And those are things I unlocked at level 6, 5, and 6.
So here's a question: how would you explain to folks how to eventually level up? Like, how do you rate a situation for XP?
How I do it is I don't do it by because this group doesn't kill a lot of things. I open it to where it'd be boring if we'd be playing Pathfinder if all we did was kill shit. Like we go dungeon crawling is needed at times, but super fucking boring to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, like if all we did was dungeon crawl, I'd be like, dude, there's no substance. You wouldn't be able to get a feel of everyone's character. So I want to open end it to where it's the role play. Like if you look, for example, on the last episode, I think there's only 3 fights during the whole thing. And the rest was just role playing heavy, like down to the gnat's ass. I might be fucking annoying a lot because I'm asking, okay, what do you do now? What do you do now? Because I want that. But how I measure the XP is did you guys live the episode? Yep. Did you live like 2 episodes? Cool, done. You level. Because you could do that. You actually have it's called milestone leveling, and I do it by milestone. It shows it in the DM manual, and I just thought that was so much better than just being number crunchy and fucking. Hold on, guys. I got how much XP do you have? How close?
Yeah.
Man, fuck that. Just
It
everyone's
also
this
opens
level.
up like RP options too, because there's some people that don't believe in killing.
Yeah.
If you
I mean,
want to
So,
play
like,
pacifist,
if you don't
I'd let
kill
it go
somebody,
down. Like
You don't get
well,
XP.
even if,
then that
even if
wouldn't
there's
just-
like one person in your party that's like, I'm against killing, then everybody else has to not kill too. You know, so even if it's like one area, you
So-
know, if it's like,
It's still
oh,
a
I don't
kill.
believe in killing,
I want to see that.
No.
I actually saw
then it's like, oh, I guess like we have to figure another way out.
I saw
But you
a
have, like mind controlled villagers. Like, are we gonna kill these guys? They're
Are
innocent.
we gonna find the
technically.
sword? Yeah.
I can't wait
But
till you
you're
guys
still
get
going
that
through
type
the
of stuff
counter,
because I don't
you
know.
know?
I think Belinda, you get a charm. No, you get a something. I remember Vigan telling me something about she gets a persuasion or something like that was close to mind controlling somebody, and I want to see how that pans out. I don't remember exactly what it looked. Vigan's like, hold on, motherfucker, I didn't say that shit.
I don't remember that. Also,
What was the other thing?
Well, that's kind of what happened when
have
we
that
were
kinda-
we were in the last place,
The
The
Monastery.
monastery?
yeah, and I was like, okay, let's leave. Let's just run away. I don't care about that. Let's just go.
When,
Let's
yeah,
go.
like you were trying to get out of the
I
situation.
want to get out of here.
When Bronze is talking about like people are pacifists, I literally seen and it was scaled to 5th edition, Undertale, an Undertale run, like legit, and someone wrote it all out and did everything. I was just like, that's kind of badass if you want to do pacifist.
Yeah, that's
And
actually really
there's,
cool.
you know what I mean? I'm waiting for the time because if you guys look over a scale of time, there's been encounters where they've completely skipped, and I've never really said anything about it, but they've skipped encounters completely just because of them talking about stuff. Oh, Vicken found something.
Yeah. If you're an assassin at level 13, you gain the ability to utterly mimic another person's speech, writing, and
Oh,
behavior.
and you have to like
Okay.
establish your
Got
cover too, don't you?
Okay.
You have to
It,
spend
was,
3 days.
it wasn't like mind controlling, but something close to that. And I'm just like,
establishing your cover story.
it's just I'll have, for example, like 10 fights set up. You guys
That's
maybe
cool,
hit like
'cause I
3 or
can-
4
I
of them,
can-
and that's cool with me. I don't give a
like it.
shit. I think the last time, I think it's cool when you guys fight because, like, for example, the banter that you guys have, like for the spider pewuses. But I think that episode was my how can I say it? That episode was my like. This is where shit gets real because I'm throwing shit at you because everyone went in. I've said this 10 times to you guys privately, but everyone went in like, oh, fucking around, because the episode prior to that they literally argued for 30 to 45 minutes outside of a cave over nothing, and I was like, this is AIDS, I can't do it. So I started doing that, and then the next episode by the first when they got in there, it was all fucking fun and games. When they got out, they're like, holy shit. All right. Like, did you guys bring this with you? Nope, can't use it then, bro. Sorry, don't tell you. What'd you bring with you? I forget. Oh, me too.
You know what? When you started doing that, I was like, okay.
Just,
It's that literal. Okay, I got it now. I think
Still
we've
have
adapted
health
pretty fast,
potion.
though, to be honest. Especially with all the changes in the game and realizing what we have in our bag and what we can carry and what we can't carry. I think we've been a little more aware. I think we've adapted pretty
I've been
well.
lax on it just because in my mind, I just want it to flow well. I don't want anybody because this.
Well, it makes us go through the town and actually like. Okay.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But like,
So-
the super number crunching, I think, doesn't translate well to a good, entertaining thing for people to watch. That's That's why I picked 5th edition rather than 3.5 or Pathfinder. Because if we picked those two, we'd be sitting here all day. And I'm not smart enough to fucking do all that number crunch. To be honest. I saw the Pathfinder book and I looked at it. I'm like, nah, dog, that shit crit me already. I'm out. Like, I went to my hobby spot and I go, so let me get the Pathfinder joint, the Monster Manual, so I can see which one do you want. I'm like, oh, the old edition. No. There's like 4. I'm like, what? And I was just like, where's 5th? How?
Yeah, nice little coloring section too.
Oh yeah, I'm out. What else we got, Bronzy?
It's right next to all the free
Is
time.
there smoke?
Okay, no, I
no
literally
smoke.
I've run out of smoke. I've run out, and I will probably die from something I inhaled from all the smoke. And I did it for the culture. Remember that.
Basic
For the
answer.
culture.
Fuck.
That was really morbid, but it's funny to say out
It's
loud.
okay. Yeah.
Base, did it irritate you when Belinda just threw your magic items on the ground?
No, because what the fuck? If they don't want it, I don't care. Like like the magic items, the only fun that I get is some of them being
I think
cursed.
Satan was more like, I'll wait.
Yeah. No, there's
Oh.
when they went to the mad scientists on the invisible island, they
Yep.
literally did
That was
not.
so fun.
They
That
did
was so-
not loot the place.
No, we
And
didn't.
there was like gloves for Zod.
Nope.
There was like heavy armor for Vic.
Again.
There was like so much shit. I think
Those heavy armor.
they've not looted things. They just don't loot sometimes. Like Belinda doesn't check for traps. They don't check for loot. Like it's just what that is. Belinda, I want to get Belinda the 10-yard the 10-foot pole. There's the creator of Dungeons and Dragons got tired of people saying how easy D&D was, and he literally made a dungeon that was unbeatable. Well, it was beatable, but like there were so many traps to the point where they invented this thing called the 10-foot pole, where literally every step it was I trap check, I check for traps, like 30-foot hallway, every step check for traps. There's a mouth that people, do you go through the mouth? Yep. Doesn't say anything. And they keep it going, and everyone goes through. It's like, that's it. What happened? Automatically die. That's it. Good night. That, like, they're like the old D&D shit, like with Ravenloft. Reading all these old, advanced D&D and 2. And whatever, and some of the 3.5 is crazy, but the second edition of D&D,
No mercy, man.
wow! Like
Oh,
there's an actual thread. I gotta find it. It's just nothing but
That
horror
was-
stories, and I was
That
like,
edition
damn.
actually made me not want to ever try D&D, actually. When I heard about that and read about it, and my friends were
AD&D.
like, oh my god.
Second edition was fucking stupid. Like I was reading, like you just. I like the people I play with. Like I don't want them to die. Like, what do we got next? Thank you,
Do
Bronny,
you
for
think
fielding
a
these
group
questions.
Like Critical Role helps or hurts the game overall, as in people either think they aren't good enough to play themselves, or
Hmm.
they're disappointed if their game isn't like Critical Role. It's actually a really good question.
Yeah, that's very.
Wait, what was,
question.
the,
That's
what was the
amazing.
beginning of the question?
Do you think, I'll repeat the whole thing.
Okay.
Do you think a group, because there's like 3 parts to it. So, number 1, do you think a group like Critical Role helps or hurts the game overall? And then, as in people either think they aren't good enough to play themselves, or they're disappointed if their game isn't like Critical Role.
So privately,
We've
we've all
talked
talked
about
about this. Privately, I don't think we've ever really spoke about it, and I think that's an amazing question. I'll let you guys talk about it, and I'll chime in unless you want me to go for it, because whatever.
I mean,
You look like you're ready to go for
yeah,
it.
you could go.
No,
Actually,
no, I want to hear you guys. I don't want to take over. I literally want to hear you guys' opinion, other than mine. You know what I mean?
I think it's introduced D&D to a whole lot of people that never really considered D&D to be like a thing still, but kind of bringing it back bringing it to a live stage, not in so much in like a shop or someone's basement or anything like that. It's going to be, people are playing it at voice actors. They're giving a new imagination to people that never really thought that way. And I guess introducing the game to a whole new crowd is awesome. Granted, they are all voice actors. They actually had a campaign going for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a very long time to know that crowd very well, to get to know each other that well. And it's, I don't know, I think people see potential to become that good, to be that great. But it's going to take a lot of practice, and maybe some people will get a little disappointed that it's not like that. Maybe others will be like, oh, by the way,
Hold on.
yeah,
Mav, you hit 1 million views on your channel just now.
Cool. Oh my gosh.
no, it's literally
At 1 million.
million.
I'm gonna screen cap it for you real
It's-
fast.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of people.
What a time.
1 million.
Hold on,
my
I'm
God.
gonna play something real fast. Hold on. 'Cause I didn't
Thank you for watching anything on this channel because it's usually full of derp. Oh
Hold
I
on.
mean-
1 second, guys.
my gosh. I kind of hear it. Oh shit.
Amelie, there it is. Okay, I'm done. All right. That's cool.
That's insane.
Congrats.
What were you saying, Zot?
I don't remember. I don't
Way to interrupt
No.
yourself.
No.
You were saying that it introduces a lot of people into it because they're really comfortable with it. They've been playing for 2 years. And they're all voice actors who like kind of like bring this like energy that's like makes it exciting, makes it feel like a 3-hour long show every week coming out. That's just really exciting, which is good. It introduces a lot of people to it, but it does kind of discourage people when they're first trying it out because you're seeing the
best of
product
the
of
best.
2 years of development and like a bunch of people who are like really like they're all really close friends, they're all really into it, and like you're just seeing that and then you're going into a game after a week and you're like,
And
how
you're
come
getting
mine isn't
paid
as good?
for it.
You just have to keep going with it. Like once your group builds up, like you'll be more invested in that than you will be with Critical Role. It just you have to get invested.
Bronte.
Best D&D is the one you're in.
Bronte, go ham.
Does Matt have anything to say?
I'm just kind of like
a
staring
million.
at the number like, oh my god. Oh my god.
A
I
lot of
never would have
digits.
ever thought. But with Critical Role though, like you gotta keep in mind that too. And they are voice actors, so they literally did this to hang out together and practice. Like that's their job. They're paid to sound like characters. So why not make a character and sound like it? Like you hear them when they talk, they're in character, they have a British accent as an elf, and then like they're like, say what? What happened? What do I need to roll for? And you're just like, wow! And it's great. It's more Hollywood-esque for Dungeons and Dragons. For the franchise alone, I think it's fantastic. But I think it's also good to do your own thing and meet your own people. And you might not agree with a lot of things that people do or roll or RP, but that's like the beauty of it. And that's always kind of what I've tried to tell people in roleplay is you're not that character, okay? So whatever happened to that, think to yourself. It's a great like brain workout too. Like, okay, I'm like this, let's say I'm just this warrior guy and all I do is like throw my axe at people. Well, if someone comes into the scene, they don't introduce themselves, I'm gonna throw an axe at that person. And consequences, good or bad, I think that's something good to all practice, I guess, and weird.
I mean, it's a game that turns everybody into an actor, essentially. And depending on
You have to think outside the box, and I think that's important. And I think
yeah.
it's really cool that it's now a culture that's come back because it was around for a long time, and then it kind of like, no one wanted to share it. Something no one wants to really share. Because there's so much, there's a lot of critics, so.
Yeah, it's coming out of like the basement scene and into the limelight.
Just saying, well, if we do it good, we do good. But if as long as we're having fun, we stick together.
I was about to say, I look forward to D&D every goddamn week. It actually gets me
Friday
through.
yet or
so.
Tuesday? I mean,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Tuesday now.
I'll take a Friday and a Tuesday now.
I think there's like positives and negatives to Critical Role's success. I think the positives are that yes, D&D is mainstream now. I hate using that word. It always has been. Like when people say Magic's popular again. Well, if you've ever been to a Magic store on a Friday night, it was
It's
never
always-
not popular.
yeah.
It's always been popular. D&D, like there's this like 4 different games at my local comic book shop, and that's just the one on this street. It never stopped being popular. There's a reason that they're still making Baldur's Gate. There's a reason that they made Roll20. That cost somebody money to sit here and make it, right? Why are they making these things if people don't care? People do care. I used to do this for a living, and I go to like a warehouse and it's full of nothing but like tiles, so people can make their like textured tiles, like cobblestone and brick, so people can make their own maps and stuff. It was always mainstream. I don't like that people say they made it cool again, because I think that it was always cool. But I think my biggest sort of gripe with it, if there can be a gripe, is that people say they're the best. Personally, I think Penny Arcade's been doing D&D for several years in form of a podcast, and then they do it live at PAX Prime every year. Not trying to shoot shots, but it blows them out of the water. And I think for me, it's because like the people who do Penny Arcade are like really good friends, and when they're together in a room, they remind me of us. Like they're not voice actors, and in my opinion, that's what makes it good, because they're not as married to like this, you know, like the performance aspect of it. And I think I'm speaking from the other side of the table, because it's like that's why I originally didn't get into D&D, is because it seemed like, you know, I walked into a room and there was a bunch of neckbeards and they're like, my name is Grocknar the Bot, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. That literally
Pretty much.
I'm not
Pretty much,
right.
yeah.
Like I literally was like, I'm not, no. Like, and then they come around to my turn, they're like, what sayest thou? And I was like, no.
No.
They hated me, and that's why they killed my cancer mage. Sound like a hipster. I'm the opposite of a hipster. It's such a stupid thing, because I'm saying it was always cool, not like I liked it before it was cool. It was always popular. But
Well, that's like role playing too. Like a lot of
So the
people are like,
opposite of
"Oh, I'm gonna write a story of my character," but you know, there's so many Tumblr sites too of like stories and stories of people writing. It's never gone
Yeah.
away. So I agree with that. For
yeah,
sure.
like it's D&D never went away. It's always been popular. I think that people who say they made it mainstream, those people are the hipsters. It was never not mainstream. There's a reason they published 5e, okay? They're making money off these books. Spoiler alert, they're making money. So it's
Oh,
like, why would they
10%.
keep producing something that doesn't make money? But I do think that when everybody gets compared to Critical Role, when Critical Role becomes your poster child, everyone's like, well, that's the way to play D&D. And it's like, no, you don't have to. And personally, I wouldn't want to.
Mm-mm.
It seems
I
like too
really
much,
wouldn't.
dude. It seems like
I
way
think
too
if
much.
I had
We
to
have
sit
so much
here,
fun. I
think
don't
that
think it would be as much fun.
exhausting to
I don't
just
think
be
it would
like, you know, what sayest thou,
And, that's,
Zotbot?
and saying that does not take away from Critical Role. I think Critical Role is needed in that aspect, because why not?
They show a different side of it.
Oh, of
but
course.
they shouldn't. I don't like that people consider them the gold standard. Just because they're doing. That's like saying RPing and WoW is wrong because everyone else plays WoW this way, and if you don't play WoW this way, you play it this other way, then you're playing wrong. You know,
Yeah.
there's no wrong way to play a game, really.
I mean, it's a game. We're supposed to
So
have fun.
that has been my biggest gripe of like the tweets you see. Like I'm not saying I don't like Critical Role. I am a big fan. And it's not even their fault. They're just playing the game. It's people who watch who then compare everyone else. Like no one else.
Because that's all they know.
They are the best. I'm like, that doesn't make
Yeah.
them the best. It just makes them different.
It makes them. They makes them their first gateway to D&D, to role playing, to, you know, this sort of thing that's always been around. Like,
Because I've had a lot of
Really
people
long.
come and ask me like about DMing and shit, which I'm the wrong person to ask about. And they're like, well, you
you're
know,
the right person to ask.
terrible, asking about
You're the
like
right person to
about like
ask.
streaming it. And when I say Critical Role is the best for what it is because it's
production.
production wise, like Black Magic sponsorships and all that. God, you can't really compare it. But as far as the substance goes, every D&D is different. I don't ever compare what we do to
can't-
anything else.
They can't do what a lot. And the reason why I mentioned the Penny Arcade people is I'm not saying Penny Arcade's D&D is like no. But when you go watch them, like at PAX Prime, they had a bard who was improving songs like to the weird stuff they did. And I've improved songs on CBW and I think maybe on D&D. And it's like, so to see that and see, like they had a beholder chariot because they were like, we want a chariot and it's going to be in the shape of a beholder. And they had a model come out that was a beholder chariot that their characters ride around in. The truth is, you wouldn't have that happen in Critical Role because they take themselves a lot more seriously. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for some people that can definitely be a deterrent. Because if you're like me and you're like, I just feel kind of silly. You know, like I would feel silly sitting here being like, you know, I shall strike at the. I would feel silly. And I think a lot of people would. I think if you're not a professional voice actor and you don't have all this high production quality, I think if you're just a kid in front of a monitor and a webcam playing games with a pink-haired girl and a dude with lovely coiffed hair, I think it's not weird to feel silly. And it's even worse when you're
Like,
like
why is she
in
talking
a
about you?
comic book
I don't
shop
know, man. They're
surrounded
coming
by
here.
neckbeards and sweatshirts to try to put that on.
Well, I think like
It's
with what
intimidating.
I think with our group too, it kind of shows that you don't have to be a neckbeard. You don't have to be Critical Role. You don't have to be, anything you don't want to be. You can play with your friends and you can suck together or have fun or like learn about your character. Like literally Bronze and I were in the middle of a fight and she was like, okay, let's talk about your character really quick. And I was like, okay, let's do that. But I learned about a lot and that was just during a fight. So I mean, you just hang out with people that want to do it, and like the ones off stream have done. It's been pretty good. I can't say personally, but Vicken is a part of it, and from what I hear, like they're just like, hold on, Mav, I need to play D&D tonight. So if you you have a bot, right? So, like,
Yep, I steal 2 of your mods away every Monday.
I don't even get mad because I'm just like, go. It's fantastic. Play it. Play with friends you love. Talk about it. Share your experiences, and that's really what it's all about.
I mean,
And I
you'll
think
see
the
me in
goal
there.
of like my answer to that question wasn't to say Critical Role sucks, because it doesn't. It's awesome. But it is a different way to play, and I think like I've played that way, and I used to think like for me, honestly, it was a chore. Like you had to put in so much work,
a lot of work
outside of the game. Like I would literally have meetings with my party before we started playing D&D and say like sit down and tell them, like, okay, so my character actually secretly speaks Swahili, and so she's going to understand the inscription on the back of this locket, like meet with the DM, but nobody else is going to know. So I can tell them. And it's like, you can tell that with Critical Role, as they definitely do put in a lot more work behind the scenes. And we're kind of showing the lighter side of that you can throw together a campaign and kind of wing it and still have fun, and maybe not have all of that crazy, like, oh, it took us 3 hours. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I've met Matthew Mercer in person. I have his autograph before he was famous.
Hipster.
And hipster, there. I think it's cool hipster. I admit it when I do. And I love that man, but I don't, if somebody told me he was improvising, I would slap them. The truth is he probably spends several hours a week working on that.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's okay.
Yep.
But you don't have to do that.
right?
That's what I'm trying to say is,
Because we
don't
don't.
let that be a barrier. You don't have to do that. If you want to DM a game, don't compare yourself to Matthew Mercer, because he
Be nice to yourself.
The goal
nice
for
to
Fat
yourself.
Kid for FriendZone 9000, when we were thinking about doing it, my ultimate goal was to get people from all walks of life. I mean, you have Zot, Vicken doesn't even fucking stream. You have Mav, you have Bronzy, and myself. We're cool because we're not the same type of people. We're like different in weird ways. And we came together and we're playing one of the most nerdy, or not, I won't say frowned upon, but always kind of like exiled in gaming. We're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm probably the only neckbeard here, to be honest. And everybody else is like, you wouldn't say that. I mean, you look at Bronze, you look at Mav, you're like, oh, okay. Not saying that they would never play D&D, but they break the mold of what you'd expect. Zot looks like a fucking high school jock, and Vic is just here. So all these people,
is just here.
the Chad. Tell me Zot doesn't look like a Chad. Okay,
He looks like a Chad.
He looks like a
He looks
Chad.
like a Chadworth. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my point. Like, my ultimate goal with whatever we do, whether it be D&D, pen and paper, playing board games eventually, and all that other cool shit is that you don't have to fit a fucking mold. Labels are not for fucking people, for me at least. I mean, other than being an asshole, but I take pride in that. So I'm just saying that when you look at the spectrum of who is streaming or who is podcasting or who is YouTubing D&D, I love it that it's all different. I'm not gonna fall Critical Role at all for other people wanting to be. Who wouldn't want to fucking DM like Matt Mercer? That's but on a production level or it's just awesome, man. Like there's no knocking there whatsoever. the thing that I tweeted about it is that, it is disheartening when I go to some other people's channel or I go on a YouTube channel and they're literally trying to be Mercer, and I'm just like, that's cool for Mercer, but fucking hey, man, I know this person. I know I've talked to this person. I know this person's more capable than this. Be your own person. I don't know, but that's just me. Every group should be different, in my opinion.
And and tailor to your group, because sometimes like one thing I've learned from playing D&D is like, and it sucks to say it, but you could be really good friends with someone and not enjoy playing D&D with them because people are so different. And like this group of people I played with originally, like I did feel like there was a rift because one of them would wear like a horn, like a helmet with a broken horn and all this stuff, and I was just like,
I want one.
can't do it, you know. And it's
Are you
like,
saying my
but
costume
for
is
him, no, right? But for him, like every time I dropped character, like because they wouldn't just say like, oh, like, okay, the boat's sinking. What do? Do you try to fix the boat or do you jump into the river? Like, he'd be like, I take the name of Odin and I leap into the raging sea. And every single time I'd be like, I think I'm gonna just jump in the river. I would see his face and it was like I was killing him and I was killing this campaign. So
My heart. It hurts.
don't, instead of trying to like mold your DM to be like Mercer, find somebody who is a little bit more like that. And don't try to just go in with the expectation that you don't have to be that guy to DM. Because you'll find a group that'll play with you that doesn't want that.
Does that answer your question, Ranger?
It's perfectly okay to keep it in an imaginary state than to have to like go up at people and just be like, "Wherever art thou?" No,
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm just gonna start talking and you know what I mean?
To be honest, just have fun.
yeah, just have
At
fun.
the end of the day, have fun. So
You guys want more questions? We have time.
Make it more complicated later.
let's get like one or two more questions. Go for it.
Yeah.
Question: do you think you could survive with your characters for 2 years?
2 minutes. Do you guys? I wouldn't be. I don't have characters.
I don't really
I don't think we
care.
would. I think
I don't
our group
like-
composition wouldn't.
Our composition was we didn't meet it before. We all just picked a character a couple weeks before, made
I
it.
think if we were to really have a campaign that would last that long, we would literally have meetings about this story and we come up with something together, and then hopefully we don't die because our DM
Right now, our
crazy.
composition, we would die. There's a lot of places we would die.
We've been wiped out. I mean, there have been situations that we should not have made it out of. We would have.
When you guys were first starting out, it was originally going to be 4 people that did damage, no tanks and
No
no
heals.
healers.
Tanks, no healers.
I was like,
Yep.
and one of them was a dark elf, and then when Zot said it, he goes, "Be a dark elf." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
You know what? I remember Base telling me that, and I was like,
Yep.
That's the first thing you said. The first thing
that
you
was
said
like what I had in my face. I was
First
"Is he
thing.
sure?"
like, "Are you
First-
sure?"
And when you guys were on the way to the
I'm actually
invisible
on the
island,
back.
Baldur's Gate to the harbor.
Yep,
It had a character.
yeah.
Bronzy's Berlinda stepped up and whooped some ass, and then it was just awesome. I thought, I mean, I don't mind it. I just
The RP came naturally. It just everyone was having fun. We just played, and
Oh.
it's. I mean, granted, it's making the DM's job a lot harder just to find.
no, because it's like, dude. It's not me. I could think of ways to fuck with you all day. I'd do it in real life. What the fuck are you talking about? If you want to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
that, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure you're not gonna throw a bitch fit if you get old moldy cabbage thrown at you when you're walking through through a square because if someone sees that you're a fucking dark elf. I don't tell you.
Technically, Belinda did punch a dude that called me scum or something like that. I can't remember what he said, but Belinda punched the shit out of that guy and he passed out.
Yep.
But that was
And then all the stores closed.
Yep.
all the stores
Because of the
closed, and then
Zot
the-
is just a fucking girl that
I'm,
wants to go
I'm a bad
shopping.
omen.
He could never go shopping. Not with this group. You
Yep.
got V trying to steal
It's either
goddamn
my
gnomes.
fault- yeah, it's either my fault or Mav's trying to buy gnomes. You try to buy.
No, she tries to kill gnomes.
No, you try to buy one.
Well, I did try to pet a gnome, like make it my pet.
That too.
I kind of wanted to come with us, and I didn't want to go.
I mean,
love-
everywhere we went, Belinda got us deals upon deals upon deals. And then
She's so
some shit on the board,
persuasive.
but-
I want this sword.
Oh man! And then it's just
The
I love
funny-
that we just
we're
do
talking
a bunch
about
of
memories
stupid
and
shit
shit.
and just have fun.
Yeah, they just literally have
Like-
memories from this fucking.
Like
which is funny.
me and
That
Belinda
we
were
actually
just
did it.
standing in front of a bunch of drow vampire spider combinations, and we're just like mixing holy water mead just in front of them, just mixing drink.
What's
Turn
the
off.
next question? Let's go for next.
I would like Base to explain the feature that he added for while players have sex, like how Vicken had to roll to see if he killed out.
Okay, so I actually talked about this. I talked about this before.
You did talk about this, but
Literally
yeah.
before we started.
Mhm.
In 3.5, there is a actual chart for STDs in Dungeons and Dragons
Oh, and it's
3.5. So if hookers are a thing, or sorry, free-spirited women or men, whichever. Bronze had Batista. If you there will be
Like, I hid
consequences
from.
if you smash. If you smash, you must roll a d20, and if your d20 roll is low, I'm not gonna say which number. It depends on who, because certain races have plus 10 to the issue. Your pull-out game's trash, and you might have a kid at some point that might hate you when they grow up. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Because do you think a Malesh is gonna stick around? No, he's out the window. He's out of here. So, but yeah,
I'm out.
yeah. So
I'm trying to make money, not lose it.
18-year investment. I don't know how. I got to figure out how long the investment is on the Sword Coast, but you know how that goes. But anyway, yeah, that's that. Was that you, Zeph? That was you. I bet it was. Fuck. Do you have any more questions? Last question. How? Okay, break it down.
What are Vicken's thoughts of the group since he's the dungeon master?
What?
You're the DM now, bro.
I'm the
You
DM
got
now.
you got the juice. I'm real stupid, drunken dwarf, stupid bitch.
that, okay.
Uh,
Imagine an entire D&D session with that.
Mhm.
I'm here
That
for
was
that.
based.
I'm
RP.
here for that. Yeah, you're fired, Base. You're now a character.
Who's this big green bitch? You got some nice teeth. Alright, that's it.
Oh my gosh. I think it'd be lit with drunk based.
Okay, so what was the question though? What do I think about the group?
Mm-hmm.
I'm based. Vicken is that guy.
Yeah. Over there.
I said it before. I wouldn't play. There's a group of people that I could have played D&D with. Said no to 90% of them. This is the 10%. So this is.
10%.
There's only people that I know that are entertaining enough. I know that they're mature enough to play D&D without getting in their feelings. And they're basically people I could stand to be around for 3 hours at a time.
Except for me, I'm a wild card.
You're dead soon. Don't worry about it. We'll get you out of here. But yeah. So I guess that was the last question. All right, cool. Sounds great. Thank you all for coming to FriendZone 9000 Dungeons and Dragons Q&A. We will be back Tuesday next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. On this channel, we will continue the adventures of Daisy's Grin. Make sure you follow everybody on here. I don't want to call it panel, whatever. Make sure you follow everyone on here. Zot streams 4 p.m. FriendZone Con. It's lit. Oh yeah.
FriendZone Pano.
Pano.
Zot streams.
Senpai.
Tell us no,
Senpai.
but it'd be funny to try.
Start a riot. Zot, you stream 4 p.m. daily, right? Except for Tuesdays
Daily.
and Mondays.
Except for Tuesdays and Sundays.
Tuesdays and Sundays. Vicken don't stream, but he's a pain in my ass. Mav be streaming whenever the fuck. Bronzy, you stream at 9:30 every night except for Sundays and Thursdays.
Sundays.
Okay, so you start stream Thursdays now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's lit. You streaming tonight?
I'm streaming Quantum Break.
Ooh.
Mine just finished
Fancy.
downloading. I'm excited.
I can't even spell that shit, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
This game.
Shiny.
You wealthy. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for all of this. You guys are great. Thank you for the awesome questions, for the people in chat. Again, this weweek was just Q&A and just us kicking it, man. Sometimes I think that's needed. So we never really had one together. Yeah, we never had one before.
Yeah.
Months.
I think it was worth. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. And real fast. So the guy in chat named Jay Snide. I mean, I've said this on my channel before. Jay Snide is one of the reasons why I am DMing. I went on Reddit and I knew nobody that could teach me how to DM. Jay Snide was the only person that stepped up at first. It was myself, Jay Snide, and there's 2 others. Jay literally put me aside, broke shit down for me, gave me reading material. So everyone, I don't think he only streams. He streams every once in a while, like Sundays, I think, for his group. Make sure you guys say thank you to that guy. That guy had an infinite amount of patience with me.
Well,
so
and every
guy's good
time I
people.
looked at the chat, he literally was saying what we were saying, and
Jay's
it was
good
just
people.
like simultaneously happening. So I figured he was good.
Jay is good. Jay is good people. He could have said fuck off, go learn from somebody else. He was like, nah, man, let's do this, and here we are. So, yep. Jay gets the 10%. So we
Oh,
will
he
see
was
you
playing
guys.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, he
There it
streams.
is.
He streams our other groups, man.
Oh,
So-
we'll do it.
Yeah. So we will be back Tuesday next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. This channel. Thank you all. Y'all be easy. Look, peace. Don't shit on something
Why is there shit everywhere?
because it's you.